Hey, how are you doing?
Richard, you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nice, man. Yeah, man, it's been an age. What's going on with you?
Sort of the same routine, I guess. I have some game ideas I'm working on. Still often like sort of, doing a few lessons here and there for trying to learn Chinese. I made a couple of videos. I made a video. I went to the aquarium and I filmed like fish. And then I set that to music and made a video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you've
awesome,
been
man.
doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, so what summarize like what you've been doing for these past few weeks?
Well, I've been staying out of Ottawa. I Airbnb'd my place as much as I could and met a nice girl and getting to actually experience and see Toronto for the first time. She's part of the same community that I'm a part of. It's like a camp community from the Burning Man group there. So
Oh yeah.
I was gonna fully pull out and then I kind of just, yeah, the community is interesting. Like, I don't need to subscribe to everything that they're doing. There's a lot of like
Yeah.
poly, a lot of like the word that was used was incest, where like everybody's dating each other and fucking each other, and I'm too emotional or sensitive,
Yeah.
monogamous for that. So that doesn't fit with me. But it's nice to be around like kind, good artistic people. Some are very creative and entrepreneurial, and so like good qualities.
Yeah.
But they like to sleep around, and well, that's not my bag. I like the other qualities. Some are very
Uh,
unreliable, so some I take with a grain of salt when they say they're going to do something. But anyway, the girl that I'm dating is wonderful and a great match. So we complement each other really well, and we're having a good time. It's been very busy. It's been a month and a week, but it's not like your classic, see each other once a week kind of dating. It's like we're spending a lot of time together,
oh
which
yeah.
is good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
really a
good. That's good
casual.
to like
Yeah, man, I'm
the
not really a casual kind of guy. When I'm in something, I'm in something. If I'm
right.
not, I'm not. Right. So
Yeah, it is. I've always found that tough too. Like if I'm doing something, it's nice to have like a solid routine and lots of communication, or else I'm not really sure like where things stand. It takes up like I end up just like uh spiraling inside my own head if I don't get like feedback, from other people or something.
yeah, it's interesting. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from people in the community. About
Yeah.
my kindness and my looks, and how good I am to my partner because her friends see that, and I get a lot of good feedback from her through them. And there's something about being validated by other people.
Yeah.
Your family is one thing. I'm sure people benefit from being validated by their family, and also they can experience a lot of developmental issues if they're not validated by their family. Family is one piece, but when you're validated by people in your community, it really gives you this extra strength
Mm.
and self
Yeah.
confidence that, yeah, like I feel
Like a
really
social
really
net.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel really good.
Hmm. Yeah, it must feel like you have like a lot of opportunities, like a lot of other it seems like sounds like those people are kind of like artistic and they've got things going on, and being connected to that and being like respected by those people, it would feel like, you have a lot of open doors in life or something
Yeah,
like that.
like this weekend I'm going to a private island that's owned by um so mutual friend of the girl, the lady I'm seeing, the girl I'm seeing, and I. So we're mutual friends. It's her company's island, Wasson. I think it's called Wasson Island or something. And a bunch of cabins. It's a
Uh,
summertime money making machine. Except that people are more and more becoming more and more poor and can't afford the program. So Anyway, but we're invited up. Might be the last time there's a big gathering because business isn't booming, everything's tight. But we get to come together and hang out, and I kind of have like this isn't just like the burner community. This is more intimate. Like these are friends of this person, and
Right.
if you're a plus one or partner of a friend and you're liked and accepted, then you're invited. Well, still got to be screened, but so being a part of this community and being in this relationship, it's filled with love and mutual support, and it's how a partner should be. And it's the first time I've experienced this in my entire life, where I'm kind of like blown away. Where it's like I actually verbally said one time, like, "Wow, this is what a relationship should be like." This is the
Yeah.
first time in my fucking life I've actually had it.
What's
And
their perspective? Like, how have their past relationships been? Is it?
we've been talking about that. So they date narcissists, they date people who are avoidant or emotionally unavailable, and they know that it's because of how their parents are or were, how they had to raise themselves. Well, it's interesting because I basically had to raise myself too. So we have that commonality. We actually understand. So it's like the people she dated were emotionally immature, insecure, narcissist. And when she looks back and actually shares some of these reflections, it's like, yeah, they were fucked. Just summing it up really quick, like I can't believe I dated those people and they're like insignificant compared to this relationship. And
Those must
so,
have been like learning, like maybe she didn't
yeah,
realize it getting into the, I guess that's how maybe I guess it seems like she's also done some learning about like
totally.
the scope of how relationships can be. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And there was some love in those relationships where she really likes certain people that she did date, but she quickly realized that polygamy, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like that fucking everybody world, she's not that. So she wants somebody who is like committed and willing to invest in the long term. And so like
And
it's through.
like, how did she get? Like, how many years has she been like in the community?
I don't know, over 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So she did say like her first Burning Man, she went to the big event 3 times, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like in her 20s, and she's 35,
Right.
36. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, yeah. So it's hard to like nail it down. I know she said it, I just can't remember precisely. So
Yeah, I was
it's
just wondering
yeah,
ballpark, like, yeah, because you came into the community maybe like a year ago now or something ish.
a year and a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like May last year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really in
Yeah.
the community. I just started to enter,
Or like
yeah.
you
So
became aware of it, yeah, or something.
yeah, I became aware. And like my sideburn, my first experience had it good, but it also had a lot of bad, and there was enough bad for me to pull out. And the crazy thing is, and it's just how we met. It was a year ago, and she was actually she's really incredible in that she's a community builder, entrepreneur, makes shit happen. She's an event planner. Her degrees probably has nothing to do with event planning. Like it's cognitive science, cognitive behavioral science, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's a second degree in filmography. But like, she's an event coordinator and like a master at it. And she brings the community together by organizing events all the time for people to come together. And she has like her own little project, the Church for Dance, and there was another one like a pop-up bar she was doing, and just making shit happen. And she's a co-founder of the community. I didn't realize that. So I thought the one lady was the owner, the founder, because like on her property, and she just seems to be the boss. So she seems to have all the cards and the power. But there was actually a few co-founders. There's 4 of them, and one of them kind of fell off. But the person I'm dating is one of them. So she's a community builder, and also is a part of other communities too, not just the one or 2 others I think she mentioned as well. So where was I going with that? Basically, she makes stuff happen, creates opportunities, brings people together. And she was running it's called Lakes of Fire festival. She was going to set up the camp that I was a part of there, and I was going to go to that with my friend. But the experience that I had, and we probably talked about this, it left a bad taste in my mouth. And I probably didn't say why then, but I'll say why now. Because those folks offered me some drugs, and the dosage wasn't appropriate for a newbie, and they also didn't stick around. They just all fucking scattered. And so I was left with a bad trip. Yeah, I had 2 bad trips. 2 bad trips with people that, you know, were offering me these drugs. And in my mind, when you offer somebody, you're accountable, right? Like, that's how I see it. You offer somebody something who's brand new, you're doing it because, you know, you're going to be accountable. Right? In my mind, that's how it is. But then I was explained that, no, you have to make sure that you ask to stick with people so that they keep track of you. So it was bad enough for me to not want to go to this event. But this girl organized this event, and I was going to go, and I was added to the chats, and I was talking to her and vibing really well. And she actually said to me, she actually wanted to meet me. She was excited for me to come and meet me, and she was single at the time. And I bailed, but then I was still kind of captivated by her. Talked to her on Facebook chat a few times, and then eventually sent her a friend request. And then when I was in the area, so like we actually reviewed the messages together, our Facebook messages, and like you could see the progression. It was very organic. It was interesting. She's like, I can't believe I was responding or talking this much. And I'm like, yeah, it's because it's me and I'm cool. But no, like we were vibing really, really well. And she's like, there's no way you had no intent with me. I was like, I didn't. I just was talking to you. She's like, you wanted to host me in Ottawa. I'm like, yeah, but not to sleep with you. It's just because I'm like very friendly and I'm up for meeting people. Like I had no intent. And she's like, uh-huh. I'm like, no, seriously. And like when I met her for the first time and I was in the area, I had no intent. It wasn't to date her. I just liked her. So like I wanted to meet her and get to know her. But I wasn't actually like looking to date somebody.
Yeah.
I was not in the market. Like I was fed up with that shit. So, you know, we were talking back and forth, and then I came to Milton to help out my buddy. And after a few days, I needed a bit of a break, and I wanted to see some other people. And we met before this weekend event that we went to at the farm. And our mutual friend, I wasn't expecting to see her because they actually live together. And I didn't realize that either. Well, there was messaging, and then I learned that. But when I was talking to her and getting to know her, I didn't realize that she lived with our mutual friend who I thought was the big boss of the community. You know, they're co-founders. And so I find this out, and then I go visit her thinking that the big boss isn't there. But then she is. And so we kind of all talk, and I was talking to the big boss more of a personal level, saying like, I want to get away from the military. So I'm telling her more personal stuff and how eventually I want to start a family. Because she asked me like, what do I want to do with my life? I'm like, I want to commit to a family, build a family. And she's like, well, we need to find you a good girl then. I never asked. She took it on her own. And so apparently she's
on that mission.
On a mission, or maybe she was saying good things about me. I think so. Actually, yeah, she did. And so put in a good word for me that I'm a really nice guy, and, you know, a bit about, I guess, about my background, I guess. But, you know, just enough to, like, pique her interest. And everything kind of just came together naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I say that the stars aligned pretty much for this. Like it. And then my buddy who I helped went away to Mexico for about 2 months with his family and said I could house sit. So now I'm like 30 to 40 minutes away from where she lives instead of being in Ottawa. So I'm actually able to like spend time with her and build a relationship, you know?
Yeah. That's nice when a relationship feels like effortless and a little bit like destiny or something, where everything just like things work out without any effort, and it just feels like it. You know, it's a very like solid feeling where, you know, you don't have to like fake anything, you don't have to like do any work. It just sort of everything just sort of happens as if it was like supposed to be that way, and that's nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's been going on. It's really incredible. Um, and I wouldn't have been ready to meet her a year ago. I don't think I was in a good place. I was still kind of ill.
Yeah.
And now I have like tons of patience. I'm more like my normal self that I used to be before I joined the military. I'm very giving. I want to give, but I also have I have personal boundaries. Like I use an analogy when I like the three different gears. Like first gear is when you're a narcissist or like more interested in like narcissists actually fit in that. But you could be in first gear if like you're injured or recovering and you don't have any energy to give and you just basically take from your friends and stuff. So you can shift between the gears. And second gear is like transactional. You keep a ledger, eye for an eye, but also you do something good, you kind of expect it back. And someone does something good for you, you want to return the favor. So transactional is another thing, but the problem is being transactional can lead to resentment. And then there's like, so if people keep taking from you or you keep giving it like anything back, you can become resentment. That's happened quite a few times for me. And then, a few people can be third gear where it's like they give because it feels good to give. It's actually it's in our nature to share and to give, right? Because it's how we build connection and community. It's by giving unconditionally. And that's how trust is built too. So we can give, and if we give in front of people or help people, whatever, if we feel good, the person who receives feels good, and then anybody witnessing it, because the way our species is, like we model after behavior. And it's like part of the reason why as leaders we're taught in the military, be the change you want to see or lead by example, is because we model the behavior of other people, especially people we admire. So if you witness an act of kindness, generosity, you're going to feel good as in the audience, and you'll be more inclined or very inclined to model that behavior. It's like kind of like the same thing. Like we get it. We might be touched by a movie or inspired by a movie or someone's actions that we see. It could be completely fictional even, and we could still have an emotional response, feel good or feel bad, right? Like it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is like there's third gear people, and I find that I've been in third gear and I've been giving a lot because I have a lot to give. I got a lot of resources to share with people that need it, and I feel good doing so. But then there's times too, like I've learned this, like you have to do like a personal check too. Like what is the reason for giving? And it's sort of like the initial question I ask myself now. It's like, am I giving because I want to give and because I feel good giving? Or am I giving because I need something back? So as soon as if it's the latter and I give because I need something back, like if I give a compliment or I send a message because I need a response, that means then I'm in second gear. And it's okay to be in second gear, but what it tells me is that I need to take care of myself. It means that I'm becoming transactional because I don't have the energy or patience or bandwidth to give unconditionally anymore. And so I learned this. And why it's important is because if you continue to give, expecting something back, as I mentioned, and I expect those before it can lead to resentment. And then you start thinking, how you. So I've kind of learned all this over time. And I find it all very fascinating.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit there, but it sounds like I heard the part where you said that like you want to avoid sort of getting into a state where you're giving and expecting something in return, and that it's better to give unconditionally. But then you sort of broke up in the middle.
That's the gist of it. Yeah, that's the part. I've learned that I learned that over time, and I put it into practice. And I do those checks now. The checks are actually recent. The fact that I'm doing these like personal checks to see like why am I giving? Because I start giving when I'm in second gear, I start to feel resentment. I start to feel bad, like if I don't get it back. You know what I mean?
And then what do you have like a process to like reset if you enter that point?
Well, quite likely it's because I'm not sleeping well enough, or I'm not eating well, or training, and I haven't put enough energy into myself and my own personal goals. So it's just taking a step back, and instead of putting all my energy into everybody else and their issues and supporting other people, I just be like, hey, what is wrong with me right now? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I have limited patience? My gut might be hurting because IBS is coming back because of stress. So like I dealt with some military stuff recently with work. I've had my Airbnb listing shut down because of policy and regulation issues. Um, there's a few other things that have sort of surfaced that now require my energy. And, a little bit can happen, and maybe even a lot can happen. But once enough shit starts piling on and starts to impact my sleep, or, if I'm not eating well because I'm traveling too much, then I got to just check myself and be like, okay, how's my lifestyle? Am I living a healthy lifestyle? Am I active enough? Am I eating well? Am I sleeping well? And might just have to put shit on pause for a little bit,
Yeah, do the whole like self-care thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I like doing that. I like remembering to do like self-care and not stressing about like helping others necessarily if I feel like my self-care is not at a certain level.
Yeah, and that's important. Unfortunately, some people with nurture issues, validation issues, they will continue to give me, a lot of people like that too, right?
Yeah.
So like right now for me, I'm starting to get to the end of I don't need to give. I'm starting to get, I guess, starting to hurt. I feel tired in my eyes, like I've got enough patience in my energy. Like today, I started to not be as patient. So I'm with my girlfriend, and she's on her phone while we're ordering dinner at a restaurant this morning, and I did not handle it with patience. I should have just said, "Hey, would you mind being present with me?" I had a timing to make anyway, and I was kind of like rushed, and I didn't think I'd be able to enjoy the breakfast. But I was going to leave early, and I says, "Hey, I'm just going to go and do my work stuff." And it wasn't mean or aggressive, but it's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Should have been able to communicate like, "Hey, I prefer you to be present with me. I only have like 5 to 10 minutes left. Can you mind getting off the phone?" And she knew that's exactly what I wanted, because I was going to leave early. And she's like, "It's because I'm on my phone. You could just tell me, I'm sorry. You could just, for being on my phone over, at a restaurant, and you could just ask me." And I'm like, "You're totally right." And they said, "I'm stressed. I don't have all the patience right now that I normally have." No fight, no argument, but like I could start to see me, not being myself because of different reasons.
Yeah.
Because like coming back to Ottawa is, as soon as I enter the city and I'm around the people, like I've noticed a difference between people in Toronto and people in Ottawa. People in Toronto are carefree, like, yeah, like they're a very different. It's a very different culture. So when I'm in Ottawa, where I was, everybody was like, I felt like people were like looking at me, No one in Ottawa like looks at you for 10 seconds. People in Ottawa look at you for 10 or more seconds like they're judging you. They fucking watch you. And I'm like, this is weird. I never realized how uncomfortable this made me. But these people are like watching me, judging me, and I haven't even fucking done anything. And I was saying this to her. I was like, I feel like I'm being watched. And in Toronto, there's so many people coming and going, and everybody's like vibrant. Not everybody, people are very vibrant, or people are
Yeah.
expressing their fluidity or whatever. Like men are wearing dresses and women are wearing suits, whatever. Yeah, back in business, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good stuff. All right. So yeah, where did we leave
Yeah,
off?
it sounds like you were noting that like people in Toronto are much more free and expressive, and then like people in Ottawa judge you is what I
Yeah,
heard last I heard.
for sure, 100%. And it takes being in a different city like Toronto, to be able to see the difference. And there's stuff
Right.
happening in Toronto. Like, we're out and about. We did like this cocktail get together. So she has a friend who's this amazing cocktail, I don't know, artist for lack of a better term, and he has his own. He's so good that he like, gets poached and by different companies, and has his own little bar with like 8 seats, and has like access to all these booze, and created his own menu. And so
Huh.
we brought some of our close friends to this, and then we go out into town, and it's just fucking happening, man. There's always stuff going on. And we went to this other cocktail place, and I don't even think it was a Friday. I think it was like a weekday, and it's happening. Like there's people out and about, go to dance clubs, having a good time. I don't see that in Toronto or in Ottawa. And
Right.
like
Yeah.
I've been down in that area. Like there's like maybe one night where people come out, out of the shadows and kind of dance, but then everything's very clicky, I hear. But
Yeah, and I guess there like isn't a lot of clubs to go to or anything like the sort. It seems in Ottawa, even
like
if there
Byward,
was like, yeah,
yeah, Byward Market apparently is a good spot. But I mean,
huh,
I've been there and it's nothing
yeah,
extravagant. Toronto's extravagant. So like I've
right,
had a chance to kind of like just scratch the surface of Toronto and see everything that's going on. Like events pop up, and we're just like, hey, what events are happening in Toronto? And like there's this skating rink that's just sort of, so you can go skating, roller skating outside under this underpass. And it was like awesome. There was like vendors there, and you can rent skates for $20 for an hour, and it was a lot of fun. Like I nearly like wiped out quite a few times. Had a blast.
yeah. That's good.
So
Yeah, I'm hoping eventually to end up in Toronto. That's where I would like to like eventually like live more permanently.
yeah, man, if I'm gonna stay in the shitty climate, I'd want to be near
Mhm.
Toronto. The
Yeah,
cost of living is prohibitive, so I mean, like, if I didn't have a nest egg, I would feel the pinch, and I'd be very stressed right now, given I've spent about $100 to $200 a day.
yeah, it's
Just
expensive in Toronto. Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Not to mention even like rent, like without cost for owning a property. Which, like, I don't even
yeah,
know if I sold both my properties, and because they might they might give me a mortgage for one of the multi-million-dollar homes, but
right.
I don't want to buy that.
Yeah, same for me. I don't actually know how I'm gonna make that work if I'm renting in Toronto or trying to buy something affordable somewhere like on the outskirts. Like I don't know if I can make that happen or not. Or if I do, then like I'll need the dual household income and I'll have to like sort of seek out some kind of high paying job and maintain it. I assume to make the
So
payments.
this is
Be
what
kind
you
of
do:
stressful.
you and your wife, you find someone young or no, a little bit older, and date them. And the key is you get them, and they have like this cheap pad because they've been living there for like the last 10 years, and their rent obviously
Mm.
can't increase that much. So
Oh yeah.
the trick is you date them and you stay with them. So It requires
So instead of 2 people, it's 3. It's now 3
Right.
people is the minimum for society.
So now
Yeah,
you
if
have
we just
to.
legalize like 3-way marriage, then I think that could work as a economic.
Well, you
Uh,
split the costs, but you also like you're getting rent that's actually affordable from 10 years ago
yeah,
because rent is not affordable anymore. Like it's crazy.
right.
So that's the trick
Yeah,
is you got to meet someone who got in early and who held on and who hasn't been like rent evicted or whatever else. So it's ridiculous, but it's not a serious recommendation. But it's like either that or you're paying as much as you're paying in San Francisco. Fuck.
it is true. Yeah, that like the number would stay the same, and then like the currency would change from USD to CAD, and that would be the only difference. The numbers would be the same.
Right. So this is random. So it's been a while since I've driven my Forerunner. It's a '98 relic. Somehow still functioning. I thought I'd gone catastrophic with the engine. Like it was really in bad shape, and then it just needed new spark plugs, which is surprising considering I got them changed a few years ago. But I'm not a cat person, so I got the spark plugs changed, and I'm on the highway. She doesn't want to go 100 or 110 or 120 because she starts to like kind of feel a bit wobbly. She wants to go 130, and then everything kind of balances out, and it's not as like chaotic. It's on this vibrating. So I'm going 130 right now. And I know I have like noise canceling on so I can hear you. I don't know how noisy it is for you, but man, does she ever rumble when I'm below that? Like it's so yeah, I have to bring my Foreigner back because my friends are coming back from Mexico sooner than I thought, so I won't be able to use their car because they'll be back, right?
Right.
So gotta
That's
fend
funny
for
though. There's
myself.
like a minimum speed for it to function.
Yeah, it must be 130, man. Anything slower and she's not happy. Like this car is made for Mexico. I'll say that because like my tires are almost bald, my brakes are warped. I got good pads and the brakes work, but they're warped because of braking too hard. Apparently, I almost got them on fire coming to a stop a couple times because people don't know how to drive and you got to stop. Sometimes.
Or you cut out again there.
You cracked windshields, the body has been well,
Yeah, you cut out a bit there.
I have.
After, yeah.
I don't know if you heard me say last time. I'm on the 401.
No, yeah, I didn't hear much for like the
I
last
have
maybe
3
10, 20
bars
seconds.
of reception, and I'm still like, can
Yeah.
you hear
Yeah, it's
me?
been decent for the most part, but sometimes yeah, I can hear you. It's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
There's patches where it kind of goes off, yeah. I
People are
wonder
mad. I'm
if
not.
I wonder if the recording like It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if the recording is picking up your whole track, because then I'll hear what you said later, and that'll be it'll be interesting.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, hopefully it's like recording locally on your side, and then it'll be like good quality, and then I can review all the things you've said in these gaps.
Richard, people are mad at me because yeah. Richard?
Yeah, I'll see you later. Okay.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, see you.
Sorry. Yeah. Bye, man.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.